The mischievous boy suddenly pushed his grandfather's wheelchair down a slope until the elderly man fell hard onto the ground, unconscious. The boy didn't even realize the serious trouble he had caused. Meanwhile, his grandmother told him he had done a great job. The boy then climbed into the wheelchair he had taken and saw a pregnant woman with a large belly walking cautiously. Noticing that the path was blocked, he began urging her to walk faster. The woman explained that she was about to give birth, wasn't feeling well, and repeatedly apologized. However, the boy suddenly jumped out of the wheelchair, ran back, and pushed the pregnant woman to the ground, just to see what would happen if she lost the baby. He never expected that this reckless act would get him into trouble with someone powerful. The pregnant woman's husband was the president of the company where the boy's father worked. When he saw his wife and unborn child being rushed to the emergency room in critical condition, the president was filled with rage and swore to sue the boy's family until they were completely ruined. It was then that people realized the boy had been excessively spoiled by his grandmother. She had always been overly indulgent, allowing him to do whatever he pleased without consequences. The boy was fearless, causing trouble with no one to stop him. Every time he got into trouble, his grandmother's pampering would get him out of it. This had made him increasingly rebellious. When the businessman took his entire family for a medical checkup, he decided to give the boy's family a harsh lesson. However, at the hospital, the boy stole a blind person's cane. His grandmother laughed at the blind woman, mocking her for being unable to move without it. Seeing this, another woman immediately told the boy to apologize, but the grandmother began yelling at her, claiming she was bothering her grandson before dragging the boy away. The sensible woman apologized to the blind girl, who eventually forgave them. However, just when the boy thought everything was over, he suddenly felt the urge to urinate. His grandmother immediately took him into the women's restroom, shocking a woman who was just exiting. Before the woman could reprimand the grandmother for her rude behavior, the boy imitated his father and lifted the woman's skirt. Shocked and furious, the woman instinctively slapped the boy, which enraged both the grandmother and the boy. The boy then jumped onto the woman, punching her while screaming that his father had never hit him. At that moment, the boy's mother entered the restroom. Upon seeing what was happening and learning that her son had lifted the woman's skirt, she immediately slapped him as well. However, the boy refused to apologize and even threatened to urinate on the woman, terrifying her to the point that she ran out of the restroom. The woman later tried to advise the grandmother not to raise the boy this way, but the grandmother coldly replied that if her grandson made a mistake, she would take full responsibility. Later, the boy's mother spoke to her husband, warning him that if they didn't discipline their son, he would cause a major problem. However, the father dismissed her concerns. Around that time, the father met the president of the company. Upon learning that the president's wife was in the hospital giving birth, he rushed to offer favors, hoping to secure a promotion the following month. However, when the couple arrived at the hospital for their checkup, the boy pushed the president's wife to the ground. She immediately started